All right, this is an adversary hearing in cause number DCV 2087823 in the interest of Alexander Trevino. Let me have the parties identify.
Julie Panger with the department. Also present is investigator Lupe Perez.
Jim Shaw representing the father.
Go ahead, Jenna. You're on mute.
Yes, Janet Clift Williams. I'm the attorney for the respondent mother, Juanita Trevino.
I need to announce again, Delinda Evelyn, attorney and guardian ad litem for the child.
You will have to wait.
Okay. Mr. Shaw, it's my client. It's my understanding your client is in agreement with the department having temporary managing conservatorship of Alexander today and just wants a DNA test.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Cliff Williams, your client is still opposing TMC at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. She does want a hearing.
Okay. Ms. Panger, what is the status of service on the parents?
Ms. Trevino was personally served on October 17th, and the father has not, Mr. Morgan has not yet been served.
All right, Ms. Panger, you want to call your first witness?
Yes, Judge. I'll call investigator Mackenzie Kildow.
Ms. Kildow, can you unmute yourself and maybe is your camera working? There we go. Can I get you to raise your right hand?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'm going to need you to sit real still.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I get motion sickness when I'm trying to look at and it's moving. So
Yeah, sorry about that.
I solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Panger.
Thank you, Judge. All right, Mackenzie, are you employed as an investigator for the Department of Family and Protective Services?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and I just want to clear up really quickly. You're out of the office today because of a health issue with your mother. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask you, are you familiar with the baby Alexander Trevino?
Yes, ma'am.
And Alexander's mother, Juanita Trevino?
Yes.
And how are you familiar with Miss Trevino?
I assisted as a courtesy worker in their investigation.
Did you, in fact, have personal contact with Miss Trevino at the hospital?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Can you tell me, what is a courtesy worker?
I was working to assist with the family in Lubbock because their case was out of Littlefield because that's where the mom lived.
And
so I assisted with contact.
Okay. And what hospital was Miss Trevino in when you went to see her?
Covenant.
And that's in Lubbock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you recall what date that was that you saw her?
It was, I don't know the specific date, but it was the 3rd
Wednesday.
or 4th.
Ma'am, you're going to get a chance to testify here in just a bit. So
Okay. No, I just have everything written down.
stay quiet until we call you to the witness stand, okay? I'm going to keep you on mute. All right, go ahead, Ms. Panger.
Thank you, Judge. Mackenzie, if I told you it was October 4th, does that sound correct to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you went and saw Miss Trevino, did you have a chance to speak with her about the reasons that you were there?
Yes, I did.
What did you tell her you were there for?
I informed her that we were there due to concerns with Alexander testing positive prenatally and at birth.
Okay. And when you spoke to her, did she respond to the concerns that the department had?
Yes.
Okay. How did she respond to you when you told her the reason that you were there?
She informed me that she was using marijuana during her pregnancy.
Okay. And did that, was that confirmed by testing that you had been made aware of as far as
I'm going to object to this question, Your Honor. It calls for hearsay.
Stay.
Okay. So she informed you she was positive for marijuana. Did you talk to her any longer about drug use?
Yes.
Okay. What did she tell you about drug use beyond the marijuana use?
That she also had contact with methamphetamines during her pregnancy.
What do you mean by she had contact with methamphetamines?
First, she said that she was exposed due to the father, and then she said that she might have put methamphetamines in her body a couple times.
Did she give you any dates or like how recently she had used methamphetamines?
No, just that one of them would have been around the time that she tested positive in May.
Okay. And are you aware did she talk to you about the situation when she had tested positive in May?
And object to any questions insofar as testing, Your Honor, that also calls for hearsay. They're trying to backdoor it in.
Your Honor, I'm simply asking her about statements that Ms. Trevino made, which is a statement by a party opponent, and she can testify to that.
Well, I will allow her to testify about statements that the mother made, but not any statements based on any hearsay.
Okay, I'm just asking specifically, Mackenzie, about statements that Ms. Trevino made. Did she talk to you about any other use during her pregnancy?
No.
Okay. Did you ask her as far as concerns about Alexander, did she give you any concerns she had with Alexander?
No.
Did you get to watch her interact with Alexander at the hospital?
Briefly.
Okay. Did she talk to you at all about the father of the baby?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
She said that it was Will Morgan and that he's not involved.
She talked to you about her relationship with Mr. Morgan.
Yes.
Okay. What did she tell you about her relationship with him?
I believe that they were more of just friends, and that he's currently married.
Did she indicate he was married to someone else or to her?
Married to someone else.
Okay. Did she tell you about any concerns she had with him?
That he was using methamphetamines.
Were you able to talk to her about how recently she had been around Mr. Morgan?
No.
Okay. Did you tell me about the nature of the rest of your conversation with her?
It was just about her not believing it was a concern, that she used a little bit of amount that wouldn't have affected him.
Okay. A little bit of an amount of what?
Drugs.
Okay. So did you ask her any questions about whether she knew if the use of illegal drugs affects the child?
She said that it does because she sees the effects in Marcus.
And who is Marcus?
Her older son.
Did she tell you how many children she has?
Yes, she has 5 in total.
And did you talk to her about those kids and where they live?
Briefly.
Okay. Are you aware of where they live?
They are with other relatives or parents.
I need to speak to my attorney. That's all a lie. I was
Ma'am.
sedated. I need to speak to my attorney.
Ma'am, if you keep interrupting, I'm going to put you in the waiting room while we finish this hearing. Do not interrupt again. If you want a break after this testimony, I'll give you a break, but you're going to let her finish. Go ahead, Ms. Penger.
Thank you, Judge.
Again, if you interrupt one more time, I'm going to put you in the waiting room until we're done. Go ahead, Ms. Penger.
Thank you, Judge. Did she tell you that they were, was it Ms. Trevino that told you that her children are living with other people?
Yes.
Okay. Did she indicate if she has any children that prior to Alexander being born that lived with her?
She does not have any children living with her.
Did she give you any other information about her history of drug use?
Just that she's been involved with the department for it before with other children.
Did you say for it? She's been involved with the department for it?
Yes, with other concerns for drug use in the past.
Okay. I will pass the witness, Judge.
Ms. Cliff Williams?
Yes, Ms. Kildo, you stated that something about testing. Did mom say something about testing for drugs, or is that something that you is hearsay?
We talked about her testing positive, but I led that conversation.
Okay, so she did not make any admissions as to testing positive, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw?
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Eveline?
Yes, Ms. Keldo, in your affidavit, you stated that you asked Ms. Trevino if she had ever put methamphetamines into her body. Do you recall asking her that?
Yes.
And what was her response?
Maybe once or twice.
And did she give you a time frame?
No.
Okay, well, in your affidavit, you said she told you like 3 or 4 months ago,
Yes.
and then she changed it to maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
Yes,
So
she
when,
kept changing.
okay, so what's correct? What did she tell you?
She told me both of those things.
Okay. You pass the witness.
Ms. Panger?
No other questions for this witness, Judge.
Ms. Cliff Williams?
Nothing further for this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Trevino, you still want a break? You're on mute, ma'am. Do you still want a break?
I believe, Juanita, I believe you turned your video off. There you go.
Yes, ma'am. I need a break.
Okay.
Judge,
I'm going to open up the rooms and y'all will go back to room 3.
Judge, before Jana leaves, can I ask that Mackenzie be released so that she can?
No, why could you believe? Oh my God.
Does anybody have any objection to me letting Ms. Kildo go?
No rejection.
Ms. Cliff Williams?
And Your Honor, I'd like to speak with my client first before I agree to release Ms. Kildo.
Okay. I'm going to open up the rooms. Y'all will go back to room 3.
It looks like my client left.
Okay. We'll take a minute. Ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Emily, are you there? Okay, we're back on the record in cause number DCB 2087823 in the interest of Alexander Trevino. Ms. Panger, you want to call your next witness?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll call Juanita Trevino.
Ms. Trevino, can you unmute yourself for me? Can I get you to raise your right hand? You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So be God.
Okay, before we get started, Ms. Cliff Williams, do you have any objection now to Ms. Kildo being free to go?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Okay, Ms. Kildo, you're free to go, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
Ms. Panger? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Panger?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Trevino, are you the mother of Alexander?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And when was he born?
He was born October the 2nd at 10:49 p.m.
Did you, while you were pregnant with Alexander, when did you find out you were pregnant with him?
I don't recall.
Did you know for several months?
No.
Okay. During your pregnancy, at any point did you go to the emergency room?
I went one time.
Do you remember when that was?
No, ma'am.
If I said it was in May, would that sound about right?
I can't remember.
When you went to the emergency room, did you find out that you were pregnant?
I don't remember.
What did you go to the emergency room for that one time?
What time?
You just said you went one time, is that right?
One time.
Okay,
But
so have you been to
as
the
you
emergency
can-
room this
as you
year?
can see right now, I am not feeling well. And by the way, I delivered Alexander, my son, on the 2nd at 10:49. 45 minutes later, I was dying. I was rushed back into the OR.
Sometime this year, earlier this year in 2023, have you been to the emergency room before you went to the hospital to have Alexander?
I was supposed to make an appointment with Vivian Cox, but if I would have went, y'all would have been lying like y'all are lying now.
So if you can answer my question, sometime earlier this year in 2023, at any point did you go to the emergency room?
To find out to see if I was pregnant.
Okay. And at that appointment, did you find out you were pregnant? Or at that
It wasn't
emergency
an
room?
appointment.
At that
It was the
emergency room?
emergency room.
Okay, I'm going to stop and ask you the question again. At the time that you went to the emergency
And
room,
I'm answering your question. I said yes.
you found out you were pregnant?
And that was how long ago? In May?
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So you knew you were pregnant at least between May and October of this year. Would you
Between
agree
May
with me?
and October. I didn't have no transportation.
Okay. Between May and October of 2023, did you use marijuana?
I've used marijuana.
And that was between May and October?
And my doctor knows
Between May and October of
I
2022.
did use marijuana.
All right. Between May and
I
October.
said yes.
Ma'am, objection non-responsive, Your Honor.
Sustain.
Okay, ma'am, if you'll listen to my question, between May and October of 2023, did you use methamphetamines?
I used methamphetamines. I don't know when. But
did you-
I know that the day that I had Alexander, my son was not even withdrawing. I don't even remember getting questioned. That was 2 days prior to when I was dying. I was under the influence of narcotics. The time that Mackenzie went in there, I don't remember a question she told me. I was under the influence of narcotics because I had ruptured and they accidentally cut my kidney. They accidentally cut my bladder and they did a hysterectomy. So I was not, you tell me 2 days prior if you would be incompetent to speak to somebody.
When you went to the hospital to deliver Alexander,
I
Did
was
you-
not under the
ma'am,
influence.
objection non-responsive, Your Honor.
Sustain.
Ma'am, if you'll please let me finish the question so that I can get that out and you can answer the questions that I'm asking.
I am telling you, I'm not understanding what you're trying to tell me.
When you went to the hospital to deliver
I told you
Alexander,
when I went to the hospital, what date? What date are you being? You be specific. What date? On the 4th, on the 2nd, or what?
Did you go to the hospital to deliver Alexander multiple days?
Multiple days? No, I went whenever I knew that something was wrong, when my water broke.
Okay, so on the day
Not
you went to,
multiple days. The same day my water broke. Not multiple days. When my water broke, I went in.
on the
That
day
was
that-
on the 2nd. I
the-
delivered Alexander at 10:49. 45 minutes later, I was dying.
if you'll stop at this point, on the day that you went to the hospital, you've just said that was the 2nd,
October 2nd.
October 2nd. On that
To
date, when you,
deliver Marcus. No, Marcus, y'all already have Marcus on my head.
okay, we're
Y'all
talking
don't even know
Alexander.
nothing about my son Marcus for y'all to be speaking about Marcus. I don't understand where that comes into conclusion with my son Alexander. My son is fine.
Ms. Trevino, if you'll just listen to Ms. Panger's questions and just answer her question, this all will go much more quickly. I promise, if you would just listen to her question and just answer the question that she's asking. Okay?
I'm answering, ma'am. August 2nd, I delivered my son Alexander. 45 minutes after I delivered Alexander, I was on my deathbed.
Hey, Ms. Trevino, on October 2nd, when you went to the hospital, at the time that you went to the hospital, were you under the influence of any sort of
No, I
illegal drug?
wasn't. No, ma'am.
Did you use any illegal drugs
No,
during
ma'am.
your pregnancy with Alexander?
Not where he was affected, because obviously the doctors was saying that he wasn't withdrawing.
Did you have a concern that he might be withdrawing?
Did I have a concern? Yeah. But I'm glad that the doctors told me that he wasn't withdrawing, because I knew what I had used and it wasn't a large amount.
So did you use a small amount of meth?
A small amount of meth, ma'am. But
When was
I
the last
cannot
time,
recall
Ms.
when
Trevino,
it
you'll stop.
was.
Okay.
I'm
That's
telling
fine.
you. Don't ask me now. I'm answering your question. I don't recall. When was it the date, or when was it? I just know that it was not enough for him to be withdrawing.
Right. And let me ask you your knowledge of that. How do you know what amount would cause him to be withdrawing?
How would I? Because I have friends that use methamphetamine. I'm not a judgmental person, and their children come out with no arms, webbed fingers. Some of them suffer.
Do
I
you
think I've seen children whose parents are on drugs real bad, that their children.
Do you think there's anything wrong with using methamphetamines while you're pregnant?
Do you think that there is anything wrong? I told my attorney what I felt,
I'm asking you to tell me now.
and
Do you
I'm gonna tell that's my attorney. I was upset.
Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
Ms. Payne,
Ma'am, if you can tell me, do you think that there's
I
anything wrong?
don't know what you're trying to tell me.
Juanita, Juanita,
You think that I'm
Juanita.
trying?
Juanita, listen to Ms. Panger's questions, and then you answer, okay? You're kind of talking over her, and I can't
No,
understand what
no.
you're saying.
No, ma'am, I did not know when I used the last time. Prior for my son not to be withdrawing, he must have not. No, ma'am.
Let me stop you. I'm going to ask a question now that's different. Do you think there's anything wrong with using methamphetamines while you're pregnant?
Yes, I do. But depending on the amount, if your son is not withdrawing and they had a family plan base that I could bring my son home just as long as he was under supervision, and somebody was with me, all of a sudden, and he wasn't even withdrawing, all of a sudden y'all make a big deal? Now tell me, I don't remember or recall Mackenzie being in the room, and now I'm not saying that, God for, no.
Ms. Trevino, are you on
Do
any
not
illegal
bring
drugs
my
right now?
son Marcus, no, ma'am.
Ms. Trevino,
I am
please stop.
hurting. I'm hurting, ma'am.
Are you on
And
any,
look, ma'am, one thing I'm gonna tell you, I am with MHMR. I get agitated real quick. I just had a surgery. I'm waiting to speak with y'all. Y'all are agitating me. Y'all are not listening. I'm not under the influence of nothing.
thank
the
you.
only-
If you'll stop, that answers
And
my
let me
question.
tell you one thing. I'm in a lot of pain right now. And you keep
Trevino.
on asking me questions that I cannot comprehend.
Okay, here's one that you can. I'm gonna ask you this. Do you have a job right now?
Does it look like I got a job?
Ms. Trevino, do you have a job right now?
Does it look like I got a job after I just had you know what? Let me speak to my lawyer. Y'all already agitating me and I'm in pain. And then you just brought my son Marcus up with no reason to bring my son Marcus up. You had no reason to bring him up. What is wrong with you?
Do you
I'm in
understand my
very
question?
What is
understand?
wrong with y'all? Bringing my son Marcus up
Objection
whenever
non-responsive, Judge.
I brought my son Marcus home.
Let's take a break.
So I know how y'all work.
Ms. Cliff Williams, do you mind have a conversation with your client about testifying and see if you can help with this situation? This is not good. Y'all, I'm gonna open up the breakout rooms and y'all go back to room 3. All right, we're back on the record in cause number DCV 2087823 in the interest of Trevino. Looks like everybody is present. Mr. Trevino, I'll just remind you, ma'am, you're still under oath.
Your Honor, before we begin, my client has instructed me that she no longer desires that I represent her in this case. And so I'm making an oral motion to withdraw as her attorney.
All right, Mr. Trevino, you have 2 choices today. You can have Ms. Cliff Williams represent you in this hearing today, or you can represent yourself. You need to unmute yourself.
I want my own attorney. I'm going to hire my own attorney.
You don't have time for that right now. We're going to finish this hearing. Do you want Ms. Cliff Williams to represent you in the rest of the hearing today, or do you want to represent yourself?
How does that work?
We can't give you any legal advice. Do you want Ms.
No,
Cliff Williams to
I
represent you? or-
cannot continue this. I don't know what y'all are doing to me.
Do you want to represent yourself, or do you want to have Ms. Cliff Williams represent you? You got 2 choices.
That's not a choice when you're incompetent.
All right, Ms. Cliff Williams, I'm going to keep you on the case for now. Go ahead, Ms. Panger.
Thank you, Judge. All right, Ms. Trevino, do you have a job? Ms. Trevino, can you hear me? I'll ask again, Ms. Trevino, can you hear me?
Ms. Trevino, you really need to answer the questions. I don't want to find you in contempt of court.
That is not contempt of court. I'm telling you, this is not righteous. This is not righteous.
Answer the questions, or I will find you in contempt of court.
How are you going to find me in contempt of court when I'm telling you that I do not understand what y'all are trying to say? I tell y'all that I don't recall, and y'all are going to get me for contempt of court. I just had surgery with Alexandra. I'm suffering a kidney, and y'all are asking for too much too quick. Do you not understand?
Ms. Panger, ask the question again.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Trevino, do you have a job right now?
Does it look like I got a job?
Will you answer the question with a yes or no? Do you have a job right now?
I just had my son.
Ms. Trevino, there are two answers. It's either yes or no. Do you have a job right now?
Do you have a job right after you have a baby?
Objection
let's move on.
non-responsive.
Non-sustained. Let's move on to the next. I think I can make an inference there.
I'm going to pass the witness.
Ms. Cliff Williams.
Okay, Juanita, when the investigator came to see you at the hospital, that was 2 days after you had given birth to Alexander, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and at the time that she came, excuse me?
Because it was the next day on Monday when I got to, it was the next day on Monday when my kids were there with me when everything happened. So really, it was that Monday morning that I was passing away. They went Wednesday. I don't recall nothing that they said or anything that they told me. I was under
So
the
on Wednesday, when they came to visit with you, you had been given quite a large dosage of narcotics, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you recall any of the statements that you made while you were under the influence of those narcotics?
No, ma'am.
If you made any statements, could they have been true or are not true or half truths?
I don't even know what they asked. All they asked that, I don't even remember. Like I said, I was in so much pain, under the influence. They accidentally cut my kidney. They accidentally cut my bladder. They did a hysterectomy all at one time.
And as we're in this hearing today, you're still suffering the effects from those surgeries, correct?
Correct.
And you're still in a lot of pain, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Are you asking that the court return Alexander to you under a safety plan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will pass the witness, Your Honor.
But what safety plan?
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Ebeling.
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Penger.
No questions.
All right, Ms. Penger, next witness.
Yes, I will call Lupe Perez.
All right, Ms. Perez. Can you unmute yourself for me? Can I get you to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Penger.
Thank you, Judge. All right, Lupe, have you had a chance to interact with Ms. Trevino personally?
No, ma'am.
Have you had any contact with her on the phone?
No, ma'am.
As far as your interaction with this family, tell me about how Alexander is doing.
Alexander is doing well. He is with fictive kin, and he is, they're doing great.
At some point during this case, during this investigation, was there a discussion about the potential of implementing a safety plan where someone was at least supervising Ms. Trevino 24 hours a day, with Alexander possibly being in the home?
I'm not sure.
Did you ever speak with, who is Alexander placed with right now?
He's with fictive kin. I'm sorry, he's not. He's in the kinship placement. Sorry.
He's with a family member, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And who is that family member?
Juanita's sister.
All right. And have you had a chance to speak with her?
Yes, Geneva, yes.
Okay. Did you ever talk to her about a safety plan? And I'm not asking what she said. I just need you to talk about what you said. Did you talk to her about potentially supervising Juanita and Alexander?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that was something that the department considered, correct?
Correct.
Okay, was that ever implemented?
No.
At this point, is Alexander doing okay?
Yes, he's doing well.
Are you aware of what visitation is?
Based off of what St. Francis has informed us, there has not been one.
Okay, and I'll visit with St. Francis. I didn't know if you were aware of what it is. Right now, are there concerns from the department about Ms. Trevino's ability to care for Alexander?
Yes, there is.
And are those based on, what is that concern based on?
Off of current records that we have from the hospital, admission, and history.
By admission, what do you mean?
By what mother had told Mackenzie at the hospital.
Okay. After hearing some of the testimony today from Ms. Trevino, do you have concerns about her ability to care for Alexander?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have concerns right now about her ability to function mentally if she's taking medication?
Yes.
Okay. How old is Alexander?
He is about 2 weeks now.
You know if he has any special needs at this point?
None that have been diagnosed.
Okay. Loopy, how long have you been an investigator?
2.5 years.
And in that time, in your work as an investigator, is it your understanding that that illegal drugs can have a negative effect on children?
Correct.
And that, again, in your experience as an investigator, is it your understanding and experience that prenatal use of illegal drugs can have a negative effect on children?
Yes.
Are you aware, as the investigator in this case, of whether Ms. Trevino has any children in her home with her right now?
She has no children in her home.
And as part of your work in investigations, do you review the CPS history for families when there is an intake or a report?
Correct.
Okay. Are you aware of whether the department has been involved with Ms. Trevino in the past?
Yes, we have.
Okay. And in prior cases, are you aware of what, in reviewing the case file, what the concerns were in those other cases?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and what have been those concerns?
Drug
I'm going to
use.
object to hearsay.
Sustain. Without a little more foundation laid.
Sure. When you are, as the investigator, are you the custodian of records for the department?
Yes.
Okay. And as part of your investigation, is it in every case, do you review the case file?
Correct.
Okay. And is that something that's necessary for your job? Is it required?
Yes, it is.
What is the importance of reviewing that CPS case history?
To establish a pattern.
If there is one, would that be right?
Correct.
There's not always a pattern, is there?
No, there's not always one.
And you reviewed that history in this case, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to any contact being made with Ms. Trevino, did you have concerns based on the history that you reviewed?
Yes.
Okay. And like I said, is reviewing that history something you do in every case, or is that just something done here?
No, every case.
Okay. And based on your review of that case as part of your normal duties, are you aware of what those prior concerns were for Ms.
Yes.
Trevino?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what were they?
Positive for illegal substance.
And Your Honor, again, I'll object to the hearsay of that statement and non-responsiveness.
Are you offering it for the truth of the matter?
Not as to the truth of the matter asserted, but that's what she was aware of, that the history stated.
Okay,
Yes.
overview.
And, well, I'll strike that. Pass the witness, Judge.
Ms. Cliff Williams?
Yes, Ms. Bettis, has my client had any visits with her son, Alexander?
I don't believe so, no.
And so she has not seen her son for over 2 weeks, correct?
I believe that's correct.
And in your history as being a caseworker, isn't it important for a mother to be able to bond with her child in the first few weeks of that child's life?
It is important.
Okay, and what efforts have you made to make sure that Juanita had those visits?
St. Francis is the one that establishes the visits.
Okay, and who would that be with St. Francis?
It is Isabel. Isabel?
Chacon?
Yes.
Okay. Are you the one that approves whether somebody can supervise a visit with a child?
No, ma'am.
Okay, would that be Isabel Chacon as well?
And her supervisor.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw?
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Ebony?
Has anyone made any efforts to set up any visits with the mother with Alexander?
Yes, St. Francis has.
So no one in investigations has done that.
No, that falls on St. Francis.
Okay. Do they normally start that process even when there's not been an order for temporary conservatorship?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Pass the witness.
Ms. Pinger?
No other questions right now, Judge.
Ms. Cliff Williams?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Pinger, next witness.
Thank you, Judge. I'll call Isabel Chacon.
Ms. Chacon, are you there? Is your video operating? There we go. Can I get you to raise your right hand? You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Pinger?
Thank you, Judge. All right, Isabel, are you a permanency specialist with St. Francis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you assigned to the case dealing with Alexander Trevino and the mother, Juanita Trevino?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you first reach out to make contact with Juanita Trevino?
I'm not positive on the day, but I know it was that week
What week?
that I got assigned. The week that we took away Alexander.
The week that she gave birth? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. Because I got a whole, let me see. I know it was last week.
Okay. If it was the week that he was removed, it would have been before last week, correct?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me about your first attempt to make contact with Miss Trevino.
Well, whenever I had got in contact with her, I just introduced myself. And I talked to her about
Okay.
visits.
Did you call
Sorry.
her? Did you go in person?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, I called her.
You called her. Do you know, was that, you're saying that was the week that she gave birth?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It was like whenever I got assigned. So it probably was the next week after, because I didn't get assigned until Friday, the 6th. So I talked to her around the 11th or the 12th.
Okay. And when you reached out, you were able to make contact with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you have a good visit when you spoke to her on the phone the first time?
Yes, ma'am. She kind of seemed out of it, but yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that conversation with her.
I just introduced myself and then just told her that I'd be working the case.
Did you talk to her about any of the concerns? Or I mean, was that what you just said? Was that the full extent of your conversation?
Yes, ma'am. And then I had planned to see her. I don't know if you want me to go into detail or if you'll ask me this.
Well, so your first conversation was just an introduction. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you reach out to her next?
That would be, it would be to set up her visits.
Okay. And when did you reach out to her to do that?
The 16th of October.
Okay. And when you reached out to her to set up the visitation, did you get in contact with her?
So when I first reached out the first time, she did not answer. And then she called me back about 2-3 hours later.
Okay. And tell me about that conversation.
I told her that she would have a visit on Thursday at 11:15. And then she kind of just started crying and talking about her the baby's father.
Hey, and if I'll stop you and ask you first if you can speak up a little bit. It's kind of hard
Okay.
to hear you. So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
you already had visitation set up at that point.
Yes, ma'am.
Did she indicate that she wanted to have that visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
And where was that visitation going to take place?
At the First Methodist Church in Littlefield.
Did you, when she indicated she wanted to go, you gave her a time, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you follow up with her to check on whether she was going to be at that visitation?
Yes, ma'am. Thursday morning. And she did not answer.
Okay, where is Alexander located right now? Where, like what city or town?
In Lubbock.
Did you receive any feedback or answer from Ms. Trevino when you reached out on Thursday to ask her if she would be at that visit?
She called me at 11 o'clock when her visit was at 11:15.
Okay. So prior to the visit, did she ever respond to you and indicate she was going to be at that visitation?
No, ma'am.
Were you aware of whether she was going to be able to make it?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if she has transportation?
No, ma'am.
Did she ask for any assistance in getting to that visitation?
No, ma'am.
Okay. But you were asking for, on Thursday, for her to reach out and state that she would be there before the baby was brought to Littlefield?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me about your conversation with her at 11:15.
Your Honor, before she answers, could I take a quick break, please?
Sure.
Could we take a quick recess? I have a matter I've got to address.
On record and cause number DCB 2087823. Everybody is present. Ms. Chacon, I'll just remind you, ma'am, you're still under oath. All right, Ms.
Yes.
Finger.
Okay, thank you. And Isabel, I want to clear something up. I asked specifically about you. In your work as the caseworker, are you the custodian of records as far as St. Francis with the department records?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you aware of whether someone before you attempted to set up visitation with Ms. Trevino?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you know when that visitation was supposed to occur?
I'm not positive on a date, but I know Christina had tried to set up an appointment.
Who is Christina?
Christina.
She is, let me see her name. It was 5 days after removal.
Can you repeat that? I couldn't understand you.
It was 5 days after removal. Christina tried to set up that appointment.
And is she a worker with St. Francis?
Yes, ma'am. She's a FSW who does initial visits.
Okay, so someone with St. Francis attempted to set up that first visit. Was anything ever able to be set up with Ms. Trevino?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And have there been difficulties being able to get in contact with Ms. Trevino?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Moving forward, what is the department asking as far as visitation between Ms. Trevino and Alexander if the court grants temporary managing conservatorship?
Once a week for 2 hours.
And is there a request that there be prior notification by Ms. Trevino that she's going to be able to be at the visitation?
Yes, ma'am. We're asking for an hour before her visit.
Have you been able to speak any more at length with Ms. Trevino in your phone conversations?
No, she gets really frustrated with me and then cusses me out. So it's been kind of hard to conversate with her.
Okay, tell me what's the nature of the conversations where she's gotten frustrated with you?
For example, yesterday when her visits were canceled, she cussed me out and said she was going to call her lawyer. And then she kept messaging me and just kept, threatening me.
Threatening you with what?
She was going to get that I didn't know how to do my job and I needed to learn how to do my job. And then that I didn't know who she was, that I'm a liar.
Okay, so she's been upset at you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and all right. Is the department trying to implement visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is there any reason that the department would not try and set up supervised visitation with Ms. Trevino?
No, ma'am.
Based on your interaction with Ms. Trevino, do you have concerns about her ability to take care of Alexander?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what are your concerns?
Just, when she gets, agitated, she just goes off. And then mental health.
Has she talked to you about any of those concerns, about mental health issues that she has?
No, ma'am.
Have you been able to make any contact with Mr. Morgan?
No, ma'am.
I will pass the witness, Judge.
Ms. Cliff Williams?
Yes, Mr. Cohn, when you contacted my client, were you aware that she had had a C-section and a hysterectomy on the day of the birth of her child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so were you aware that she was on narcotics?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that would explain her statements, correct?
I'll object, Your Honor, to speculation.
Overrule. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry.
Okay, and you're aware now that she doesn't have any transportation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so as we sit here today, it's been 16 days. Alexander is 16 days old, and my client has not seen her child since he was born, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It is absolutely, based on your experience, it's imperative that a mother have frequent contact with a newborn to be able to bond with that child, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that is something that Ms. Trevino has not had the benefit of, correct?
Do you want, ma'am, repeat? Sorry.
I said that's something that Ms. Trevino has not had the benefit of, bonding with her child, has she?
Yes, ma'am, but it has been offered.
And you're offering one visit a week for 2 hours. Is there a reason why she couldn't visit for more, like say 2 times per week for 4 hours each time?
I can talk about that with my supervisor.
Okay, and then as far as her sister Geneva, if she has Alexander in her care, is Geneva an approved supervisor for visits?
Geneva has told me she does not want to be part of that.
Okay. Is there another family member that could supervise my client's visits with her child?
Not that I know of. When I've spoken to Juanita, she has not given me anybody else.
Were you aware that my client is already seeing a mental health professional?
No, ma'am.
Okay, did my client tell you she was seeing a mental health professional?
No, ma'am.
I'll pass this witness.
Mr. Shaw.
No questions, Your Honor.
Miss Evelyn.
On the visits you arranged for this week, what day of this week was it supposed to take place?
On Thursday.
Yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so was Alexander transported to the visit site?
He was going to be, but since she did not confirm, we canceled it.
Okay, and you had asked her to confirm how far in advance?
An hour before.
You had actually asked her to confirm, or you had just tried to call her and couldn't reach her?
Or, well, yes, ma'am. We have tried calling her and we couldn't reach her.
Okay, that's the witness.
Ms. Pinger.
No other questions for this witness, Judge.
Ms. Cliff Williams.
No further questions for this witness.
All right, Ms. Pinger, next witness.
I'd like to briefly recall Lupe Perez, please.
All right, Ms. Perez, I'll just remind you, ma'am, you're still under oath, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Pinger.
Thank you, Judge. Lupe, in the investigation, was the department ever able to locate anyone that was an appropriate or willing supervisor for Ms. Trevino to be able to stay with Alexander?
No.
And then I'm going to ask you, are you aware of whether the department has requested medical records regarding Alexander for the time that he was in the hospital?
Correct.
And that the department's received those records?
We have.
Okay. Your Honor, I'll address it before because I think it'll require a shared screen, but I would ask to be able to present a proposed Exhibit A to Ms. Perez. It's some medical records that were obtained from Covenant Hospital under a business records affidavit. They were obtained yesterday afternoon, and based on Rule 902 of the Texas Rules of Evidence, I would ask that we be able to show those to Ms. Perez to be able to show the medical records to her under that business records affidavit.
Your Honor, I'll object to admitting or showing those medical records online because, number one, they have hearsay within hearsay. Number two, I should be allowed 10 days notice prior to the admission of the records so that I might object or file a controverting affidavit. And that has not happened. And so I object to the showing of any medical records.
Your Honor, in response to that, I would absolutely agree that they should not be shown on YouTube, but I would state that under Rule 902, for good cause shown, the court can allow those to be self-authenticating documents, even without the compliance with the amount of notice and with the deadlines in adversary hearing cases. Those have been requested, but they were not obtained until yesterday. And so I'd ask that the court understand that the good cause there is that these hearings have to be held in a short period of time, and that there's just not been the ability to be able to file those and have those on record for 10 days.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Ms.
No
Cliff Williams.
questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw.
No question.
Ms. Evelyn.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, next witness, Ms. Pinger.
No other witnesses, Judge.
Ms. Cliff Williams.
I would just ask my client if she desires to take the stand again. Juanita, do you desire to testify further?
You're on mute, ma'am.
You're on
Can you
mute.
unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I have all this written down.
All right,
Okay.
Mr. Trevino, I'll remind you, ma'am, you're still under oath, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I know that.
Okay, Juanita, when was the first time somebody reached out to you about a visit with Alexander?
They did not reach out for a visit. They said they were working for my sister and not for me.
Okay, and did anybody offer to come and pick you up and take you to a visit?
She, Isabel, I think it was the one that offered me to take me to court, but that's when I had told her that I couldn't make it to court because of what I'm going through right now.
Okay, but did she offer to take you to any visits with Alexander?
No, ma'am. She
Okay,
didn't.
did you tell them that you did not have transportation?
Yes, ma'am. They knew that from the beginning.
Okay, and did you tell them that you were on narcotics each time when you spoke with them?
They know that I was under the influence of narcotics and that I was agitated, that I did not want to speak to them unless I didn't even harass this woman. I don't even know half these people. I don't know Isabella. I don't know. I have so many people written down. Is it the one that just spoke earlier? The one where she said that I was supposed to give an hour prior to the visitation. None of that was mentioned, and not even in a text message. None of it was mentioned.
How have they been contacting you, Juanita? Have they been calling you or texting you?
Texting me.
Okay, and do you have copies of those text messages?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And insofar as the text messages, when was the last time that they contacted you?
I was disappointed because I didn't know that they didn't mention nothing about, and that's because I spoke to Isabella before that, and she did not mention anything about me giving an hour prior to that on the visitation, which was, I said I will be there. I was given a 15 minutes head notice that my son was gonna take me, and because they said I was supposed to give them an hour prior or 2 hours prior to it, I wasn't allowed to see him. But they never mentioned it.
Have you been able to visit Alexander since he was born?
No, ma'am.
So you haven't had any opportunity to even see your son?
No, ma'am. But I spoke to the other one on the 9th whenever I had got released from the hospital, which is not Isabel.
Christina?
I believe it's not the one that, I don't even know which one is which, because all of them say they don't work for, like Isabel said she was a CPS worker. She's the one that was handling my CPS case. She did not say that she was working for St. Francis. The other one said it. The other girl said it.
She was working for St. Francis?
Mm-hmm. And that she didn't work for me. And I have the text messages because she hung up on me. I said, well, if you're not working for me, who are you working for? And she said, I'm a self-contractor. I said, well, are you working for this Texas Department? Are you working for the State of Child Protective Services and the Department of Protective Services? And she said, no, ma'am, we're self-contracted. And she hung up on me.
Are you asking this court to order the department in St. Francis to give you visits at least 2 times a week for 4 hours each with your son?
Yes, ma'am, because they knew that they had messed up. And then they said, well, we're going to give you 4 hours this week. 4 hours.
Have you had a visit with him this week? No.
No.
Right. Okay. Would you be available to see him today?
Yes, ma'am. If I could, I would.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Finger.
Ms. Trevino, if Alexander, you stated earlier that you wanted him to come home or to be placed with you, do you have the financial ability to take care of him today?
I wouldn't have the ability, yes, ma'am.
How would you have that?
I worked before I had Alexander.
Okay. So are you saying that you have money saved up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And What do you have in your home today as far as him being able to sleep in your home?
My son has my son has his room. He has a crib. He has his bassinet. He has his car seat, and he has his room. And it was told by Mackenzie. That's where it disappoints me, because y'all give us parents false hope.
Do you have, you just stated earlier you don't have transportation, is that correct?
I cannot drive a car right now.
Okay.
No.
But I'm asking you, your attorney asked you if you had transportation and you said no. Do you recall that?
Yes, but I don't have my own car, but I have my 21-year-old son and my daughter-in-law driving me where I need to go.
So you don't have a problem with transportation then?
No, ma'am. I don't have a problem with no transportation. I don't have no problem with paying my bills. I have no problem. I have a roof over my head.
Okay. Do you?
And nobody was ever offered to, nobody ever offered, because there's plenty of people in my family that are willing to do it.
While you were at the hospital, who did you suggest to the department that they could contact to try and be a safety monitor for you?
They did not even mention none of that.
So you recall that conversation at the hospital?
No, they didn't mention nothing like that. They didn't mention me not. All I remember Mackenzie saying was that I will be able to take Alexander home because he was doing health. He was healthy and he wasn't suffering from withdrawals, and the doctor said he was good. And Mackenzie said, as long as somebody moved in with me, that Alexander can come home. Other than that, I don't know who this Lupe girl is, because she never contacted me.
Hey, Mr. Trevino, I'm going to stop you. I just want to clarify something. You recall that conversation that you had with Mackenzie?
When she left the room. Because I asked her, are y'all gonna do the same? Are y'all gonna do it? She said, he's gonna go home with you.
Okay, but during that conversation, you don't recall any of the part where you talked to her about your drug use?
No, because there was not no drug use where he was withdrawing, where he was bad, where he was sick, where he was suffering.
Okay.
I can understand if my son was suffering.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Ebeling,
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Cliff Williams.
I just have one follow-up, and that is Juanita, Juanita, I cannot see your face. Are you good with Alexander staying with Geneva if that's the way it has to be?
Forever?
No, I mean just temporarily.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that she will provide for Alexander if you're ordered to work services?
I'm gonna provide for Alexander.
Okay, but for the meantime, do you think Geneva is taking good care of Alexander?
I know my sister. She's taking good care of my son.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Trevino?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Cliff Williams, next witness.
No further witnesses, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw, any witnesses? Mr. Shaw, I didn't hear you.
Resting close.
Okay, Ms. Ebeling, witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
Recommendation, Ms. Ebeling?
Your Honor, I believe it's in the best interest at this time for Alexander Trevino to be in the temporary conservatorship of the department.
All right, based on the evidence that I've heard, I am going to name the department the temporary managing conservator of Alexander today. I'm not going to order any child or medical support. As to Mr. Trevino, I am going to order a paternity test as to the father
Thank you.
Ms. Penger, have we started a home study on Geneva?
I believe that has been, if
Okay.
is that right? I just want to verify, Judge. I'm so sorry.
They're shaking their heads, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
it has been ordered.
Okay, thank
I
you.
will order the department to distribute that home study to all of the parties when it is completed. And if we need a placement hearing after that, Ms. Cliff Williams or anybody else, they'll let me know. I will ask the department to maintain that current placement and give the parties 10 days notice if we plan to move the child out of that home, and certainly maintain the placement until we have a hearing unless it's an emergency.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Cliff Williams, at some point, I'd like you to visit with Mr. Trevino about Indian heritage, and see if we need to do some checking as far as tribes. Let Ms. Penger know. I'm going to set this for a status hearing. Oh, visitation. I'm going to order, for now, 2 hours a week. And certainly if Ms. Trevino is able to consistently visit for 2 hours a week, I will consider increasing the visitation when we're back here for a status hearing and just on December the 8th. But let's try 2 hours a week at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to set this for a status hearing December the 8th at 9 a.m. Between now and then, St. Francis will get with Ms. Trevino and Ms. Cliff Williams and talk about services that Ms. Trevino needs to complete to try to get Alexander back in her home. I will make that plan of service an order of this court that has to be followed in order to get Alexander back in the home. And Ms. Trevino, I will instruct you, ma'am, that your rights as a mother are subject to being terminated or limited unless you can show me you can provide a safe home for Alexander. Okay, anything else that we need to take up?
I don't believe so. Not from
No,
the
Your
department,
Honor.
Judge.
Okay, status hearing December the 8th at 9.